Knicks guard Evan Fournier kept it absolutely 100 in a recent interview about wanting to get out of New York. So let's bring in my boy Danny B of the Knicks Wall to see what Knicks fans are thinking about this whole Fournier situation. Danny B, the man brought the heat. No pun intended. The man came out firing. And I'd be pissed too, man, if I started the first 7 games, got moved out of the rotation, then barely saw any minutes after November. So you're the voice of the people when it comes to Knicks fans. Why do you think this man got less PT as the season went on? And do you and Knicks fans feel like he should have played more?
I don't think he should have played more. I look at it like there was a big reason why he was taken out of the rotation, right? And not only just taken out of the rotation, but just benched, and a big part of it is the defense. We needed defensive integrity. We needed, some oomph in the starting lineup early on. When you added a guy like Brunson's a little bit short, you can't hide everybody on defense in that starting lineup. You got to have guys that are going to go out there and really be a dog. That's what we're looking for. Guy like Dante DiVincenzo that we just signed, he's a dog. Guy Josh Hart, dog. These guys, they're workhorses. Deuce McBride. So you got guys like that, and one name that I haven't mentioned yet, Quentin Grimes, who just outplayed Evan Fournier hands down. Fournier last year, right? He wants to hang his hat on his shooting. He shot very well last year. Obviously set a record for Knicks 3-point, shots going in through the season. But this season, it just did not carry over, right? He got off to a slow start shooting-wise early in the season, October, November. Sub 35% from the field, sub 35% from three. Things like that aren't going to cut it. And if you're not bringing more to the table outside of that shooting, like the defense that Tibbs commands, your spot's going to start getting, overlooked. And a guy like Quentin Grimes came right in, and that defensive just mindset that he has and he exudes every time he's on the court was such a big piece of what this team was missing. And I think Fournier just didn't offer that, and he puts the ball on the floor. He can't turn the corner. So, he's not hitting his shot, not playing defense. What else, what more is there that you could do?
Yeah, he also said he and Tibbs' relationship is non-existent. So I know that, look, as a former professional athlete, there's always that one person who's not getting the playing time or the minutes they want or the shine that they want, and then they always come out and it's like, oh, the coach don't like me, or I'm not playing because of X, Y, Z. I'm not saying that's Fournier's situation, but I'm getting those type of vibes. Also in this interview, he told, in the interview, he had said how he told reporters after the Knicks loss to Miami back in May that he expected to be traded this offseason. Will Fournier be on this roster opening night, and why? Besides this daggone interview.
Right, of course. Right, so before this interview dropped, right, I think much of Knickslandia kind of looked at Fournier and said, all right, if they're really not going to get enough back for the value that, to make it worth it, then let's hold tight and wait for something to pop up that would make it worth it on our end. And I think that was the mindset that they had at first. But after, an interview like this drops and you just have him exploding with frustration, and he has his points, he has his reasons, his right to be frustrated, of course. But after you're putting all that out into the universe, there's going to be tension, and a coach is not going to want to have that at the end of regardless if they're playing or not. You look down to the end of the bench, you don't want to have that stigma, that mentality, that aura around the team at all. So at this point, it's cut the losses and move on. So right now, I would doubt that he stays on the squad by the time that the season starts, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was and then moved on from, shortly after that. So that's kind of where I'm at with Evan Fournier right now.
Look, I'd go full Marbury and just sit back and collect my check. $18 million they owe this man, but we'll see how this all plays out. And I can't wait till you post this on the Knicks Wall Twitter, because I can't wait to see the comments from the fans underneath. You guys are truly a community. Danny B, thanks for joining us, my man.
Always, Brandon.